Go.
My name's Randy Swanson, assistant winemaker here at Terra Blanca. One of the things that I help to participate in, of course, is the making of the red wines, in particular in the fall. Yeasts are very important as far as the flavor profiles that they impart upon the wine. So we use specific yeast types for Merlot or for Cab, Syrah in particular, and of course the whites are a very specific yeast type. Each of those yeast types definitely affects the quality of the fruit, is how you taste it, and whether it's very supple, really rich in glycerol, whether it's very aromatic, or whether it has very dark flavors or very tannic flavors, can be affected by the yeast types. So it's very interesting to watch that in the process and tasting, and over the years have zeroed down into the types of yeast that we like to use for the fruit coming here off of Red Mountain. Very specific, very intense differences that can be made with that.
Tell us about the yeast type and the barrel types you use for your Chardonnay.
Chardonnay, most of the Chardonnay is actually cold fermented in a stainless steel tank with a very specific yeast type that is adapted to functioning under those temperature regimes, which we ferment around 54, 55 degrees. Barrel fermented, since you can put it into a barrel, we fill about 45 gallons in each barrel. If you fill them too full, as they're fermenting, they creates a lot of foam. Will actually foam right out the top of the barrel. So, but with each barrel, then we can put in a different yeast type. With a tank, you get one yeast type for the whole tank. That's it. In each barrel, we can use different yeast types, and then get combinations of flavors that are then later blended back together to get a more intense, wider spectrum of flavors with barrel fermentation. But barrels ferment at a warmer temperature faster.
Why don't you use wild yeast?
Wild yeast is just that, it's wild. You have no real controls with it unless you've worked with it enough. A lot of people do use it. It takes a little bit of bravery to experiment and to find out what your local yeast type will do and how it reacts with your juice.
Thanks, Randy.
No problem.